fullback with the first and goal. Kuhn gets the ball. Pile driving his way in for the touchdown. What a great second effort. Y'all don't really want it like that. Here comes the here comes the here comes the y'all don't really want it like that. I said so. I keep big bills up in my heart on the dirty like blood. So ain't got no twist in my head, but I'm still dreadful. Wolf back. What's going on? It's your boy, the Wolf of Roto Street, rotostreetjournal.com, where we breed and feed fantasy wolves. Here for your Sunday tailgate, sit starts, all that good stuff, your actives, inactives, a busy Sunday to go through. A lot of news coming through this weekend that we have to cover. I, of course, am joined with CJ as always every Sunday. How we doing, Big Cat?
Doing great. Feel great. It's a nice little fall burst day out there. It's a great time.
Great weekend. Great foliage. Yes. Yeah. Beautiful sunset in Beverly last night. I don't know if you caught that, but it was crazy.
I know. It was like 70 degrees yesterday. It was wild.
Unreal. Great day. But yes, we're getting a nice fall weekend here. Going to, of course, win $1 million on DraftKings. Will be awesome later. And, of course, we're going to get your lineups perfect and ready to go. And the first thing we're going to just stay at the top is we are monitoring Aaron Jones. He traveled with the team. He's not expected to play. And if he sits, we're going to have to debate, about Jamal Williams and A.J. Dillon. To me, Jamal Williams would be a must-play if you own him at this point. Facing Houston, they're both in play because Houston, the worst run D in the league, giving up over 160 yards on the ground, the most points to running backs. We saw Henry steamroll them, but that's not just an isolation. They get destroyed week in and week out. So we got to monitor that one. Those guys would be must starts if they play. So anybody in the comments, let us know if you see something. I know CJ will be checking Twitter throughout the show too. So we will keep you posted. Do you have Jamal Williams or A.J. Dillon anywhere, CJ?
Oh, I made such an asshole move. I mean, we didn't really know about the Aaron Jones thing until really late in the week. And I had like to stream Jamal Williams even like when I thought that that Aaron Jones was going to play. I just was desperate at this point. And I fucking dropped him for Giovani Bernard. And then like 2 minutes later, they were like, oh, Aaron Jones.
Is he still out there or would he be on waivers till next week?
Yeah, he's locked out. I mean, which is good. I locked him away from other people. But.
At least no one else can use him against you. Yeah, but exactly. I would rather have Williams over Bernard if Aaron Jones sits, no doubt about it. But we're going to get a lot of Gio Bernard questions, I imagine, because of Joe Mixon being out. And to me, Gio Bernard, definitely a top 24 guy. And just before we keep going to the analysis, anybody out there, your thumbs up is appreciated, whether you're on YouTube, whether you're on Facebook, Twitter, the heart button, all that good stuff helps us get out to more people. And of course, so do shares. If you're in a fantasy football group, you're willing to drop it in. That stuff gets more eyeballs, more questions, and just more Sunday action for us all. So please feel, we'd really appreciate it if you share it out and give it the thumbs up button. But yeah, Joe Mixon.
And can we I need to see if my mic is good since I'm not wearing the IT headset this week. So
it's working fine for me. Yeah, why don't you check the comments and make sure nobody so far has complained about it. Because software salesman CJ is actually coming through here. Yeah, we gotta get you a normal mic. Like let's get you some professional gear. But let's talk now about Joe Mixon. Yeah. He's going to be out, and to me, Gio Bernard, top 24 running back. The other big news kind of breaking today around Mixon is it's not just this week. It could be multiple weeks. They're saying week 8 in question for the Titans, a week-to-week injury for this foot. So for now, if you scoop Gio Bernard just for a 1 week stream, you now might be looking at a locked-in. Anytime he's out, to me, Bernard, a top 24 play. He's actually averaged 19 fantasy points per game with Mixon out. That would be the running back 8 in 2020 fantasy right now. He gets 17 touches on average, racks up right around 88 total yards, 5 catches. The one thing is this was all before last year with Zach Taylor as the head coach, so we're not positive Zach Taylor will treat him like the workhorse Gruden used to. And Gio Bernard just kind of looks shitty overall. The offensive line we know is crap. It could end up just being a Joe Burrow bomb show. So I love T. Higgins. I love Tyler Boyd. I love Burrow this week, and they're all under 6K on DraftKings. I like Bernard, and he's 4,500 on DraftKings too. So, I mean, in play, but as the chalk, it's looking like he's going to be 30% owned. I'm probably fading him there, starting him, though, over most running backs. I think he slides in at running back 19 on my rankings. We mentioned Jamal Williams earlier. I would prefer Jamal Williams if I had an option between Bernard and Jamal, but both guys very viable streams this week, both top 20 guys and both great values. Jamal Williams, 4,000 on DraftKings, even better, would be smash plays on DraftKings. Only fading Bernard just to not have all that chalk. What do you think of Bernard? Would you use him? Do you have him anywhere? I'm in, clearly.
Yeah, I have him in that one league where I dropped Jamal Williams for him, but I don't know. He kind of is what he is at this point. We know what he is. He's like a poor man's James White, kind of, I would say.
Yeah.
So I don't know. And actually, I was just looking up because I didn't know who their backup running, what the other running back would be. And it's Samaje Perine.
Samaje. So it's Gio, right? Like that's the one thing you can be confident in. It's going to be all Gio if Samaje Perine is your next up.
Yeah.
So Mixon out, Bernard there. Trust me, guys, we see all your questions. We got about like 7 notes left to hit. We'll be done with these within 10, 15 minutes. So stick with us tight. Catch the notes while you're asking questions. We will be with you shortly. We'll hit every single answer. Jamison Crowder is unlikely to play, though. He's having a huge season so far. 7 catches, 100 yards in all but 1 game, and that was with freaking Flacco throwing him the rock, and he still saw 13 targets. So this is a big void in the offense. In my opinion, I could see Perriman blowing up today. Now, they're facing the Bills. Tre'Davious White, he's questionable. That's another one we got to track alongside Aaron Jones just for the implications. But either way, the Bills have been giving up a ton of points to wide receivers. White hasn't been just a pure shadow, and even when he hasn't been his dominant self. He's been hurt all year. So I could see this being one of those crazy games. Perriman, 9% owned right now, 3,700 on DraftKings as well. Could just have one of those crazy, 150-yard TD days. It's on the Jets now. He's not on the Bucks, and it's Darnold throwing him the rock, but they showed a great rapport in camp. If you're wide receiver needy, if you're desperate right now for a flex because you got injuries or what have you, Perriman could be that guy that just goes completely berserk and that nobody I don't want to see him on the other side of the lineup. He could be a complete dud. He could be a 13-yard catch, and that's it. And then you're like, okay, screw you, Wolf. But it could be. I mean, we've seen him just go crazy. I don't know. Would you stream Perriman anywhere, or are you just completely up kids?
I mean, I can see your point. I see the upside. That's what he is. He could go off for the 4 receptions for 160 or something, insane. But I mean, if I'm super desperate, I guess he's one of the better options out there.
Yeah, for example, Seamus was Humphreys or Perriman. Go for the upside, right? Humphreys is in a decent spot, especially Pittsburgh's been kind of susceptible to the slot. But I mean, I'd rather just go for the blow up. It is of note, Denzel Mims is coming back today, an exciting rookie. So if you're looking for even if you're not using them, see what Perriman or Mims does if you have the bench spot. I'm sure at the end of the day, Braxton Berrios is going to go 150 at a TD, all for nothing, because it is the slot receiver typically who dominates there. But Perriman did have 60 yards last week. Just a name to file away. And if you're desperate at wide receiver, toss him into your questions. The guy I would definitely look to first, though, would be Tre'Quan Smith, who is only 27% owned. He's going to be a huge value at 4,000 on DraftKings. And just in general, we got Michael Thomas out, and it's looking like did you see the news this morning?
Yeah, he might be on week 8 too.
Yeah, week 8 as well. He must be the most frustrating player. Hopefully you listened to us and just hammered running backs early. Because imagine blowing a top 6 pick on him over Alvin Kamara or something like that.
Iron Man before that. He never missed games.
It's awful. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's crazy. He seemed to be the safest pick you could possibly fucking have. And clearly that's not the case right now. So that's frustrating. And then in his absence, Sanders has COVID now, which blows because Sanders has been just a target monster anytime Michael Thomas misses. I think how many catches did he have 2 weeks ago on Monday Night Football? Wasn't it 12 catches on 18 targets or something insane?
Yeah, Breeze loves him.
Yeah, you had him in your DraftKings captain spot, I remember.
Yeah,
almost won some big money that night. But yeah, Breeze loves him. They finally have that rapport. And then, of course, he's now out. So who else could it go to? Well, one, Alvin Kamara, good Lord. He's going to go completely berserk. I get the pleasure of facing him in every league. It's the stars align sometimes when you're just oh, here we go, Alvin. Let me just grab the ankles for you because it's going to be a bad week. Carolina, the most points to running backs, too. So that's not going to be fun for anybody facing Alvin Kamara. But Latavius Murray, maybe they tried to get a little more physical, pound the rock a bit more. I could see him falling in the end zone at least once, maybe twice, if you own Latavius Murray. And then obviously we mentioned Tre'Quan, really the only receiving weapon right now, or Jared Cook at tight end. He's only 4,300 on DraftKings. Cook. I have Fant going in pretty much all my lineups as a pivot. Nobody's owning Fant. I'm what if the dude catches 2 touchdowns? But Jared Cook could be a little more intriguing. I might look into like what that does for my cap flexibility if I go Jared Cook, if we have a little time after the show. So we'll see. But those are the weapons. Those are the implications. And obviously, Breeze, it should be well off your radar with none of his weapons. I already had him as my lowest quarter, like not lowest, but my higher, lower Hail Mary. He was my lower of the week. And that was with Thomas expected to be in the lineup, with Sanders expected to be in the lineup. Yeah. So now without his guys, you can't have Breeze in lineups. Let us know if you need a streamer or what have you. Do you own Michael Thomas, CJ? Have you been part of that experience?
No, we're off the receiver early stuff. So no, I don't know.
You follow our own advice. Good. Just making sure you know your own
other people.
What'd you say?
That I'm like other people who don't follow their own advice.
Yeah, me. Standard. Austin Hooper, a tight end that's actually been gaining some steam, a little bit of streamability. He's going to be out at least 1 to 2 weeks, definitely this week, maybe next week as well. He had appendicitis, so emergency surgery, whatever that process is. So for now, David Njoku could be, again, tight end is so ugly and desperate. The dude's only 3,000 on DraftKings. He's out there in all but 90%, like the only 9% owned right now. Maybe even less than that, David Njoku. I think it's like 6% owned. So if you're desperate, and that's how it should be because he fucking sucks. But he is facing Cincinnati. And again, it's one of those positions that you're looking for a touchdown or bust. Like he could fall into the end zone today. I think I have him right around tight end 16. So if you're desperate, if you need a tight end, David Njoku, he's probably going to get you one catch for 15 yards, but he might fall into the end zone with that 15-yard catch. So that's just pure desperate, though. I mean, I don't know. I'm going Dalton Schultz over Njoku for context.
Definitely.
Yeah. Darren Fells, I would rather have than Njoku, who's out there in a bunch of leagues with Akins out as well. But if you're desperate at tight end, those are a couple of your picks. Last couple notes. We got John Brown out, so Stephon Diggs obviously will be peppered. He already was going to be peppered, but against the Jets, that's the only show. 7,000 on DraftKings, and like nobody seems to go to that guy. Gabriel Davis is the stream for the desperate. I would prefer Perriman. Obviously Traquan Smith I prefer. He's still out there in 70% of leagues. But if those guys are both gone, maybe Gabriel Davis. Like he's the natural step in for John Brown. It's gross, but it's facing the Jets. So anything against the Jets is viable. Tevin Coleman has a chance to return in week 8. We saw McKinnon, and I wanted to talk about McKinnon with you on here.
That's just like another mess when that happens.
Just complete mess. And like Mostert's the guy when he's in, and then he can't stay on the field right now. So that's why it's like, could Coleman become a stabilizing force there and become like a weekly 15 carry guy? I mean, there's that upside. And if you have IR spots, you could stash him. McCaffrey coming back next week, so you could slot Tevin Coleman in and see what happens with Mostert out. It's such an annoying backfield, but it also, that zone blocking scheme like makes monster days. And there's a chance Coleman has a 102 TD day within the next couple weeks. If you got trash to cut your trash, stash him ahead of the next week. He's 20% owned right now. So it's just a solid like upside flyer. Beat the rush. Everyone's going to go scoop him once he gets active. So beat the rush there. Le'Veon Bell expected to play today. Would you touch him in any lineup, CJ?
Yeah, I'm playing Gio over him. That's about it.
What about for our boy, our big man, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, the guy we were all in on, who still has been good, just not great. Certainly not above Kamara, as we may have said at one point. But he's still been solid. Does this kind of – where you stand on like what Le'Veon Bell does to his value?
Yeah, so I remember when the news broke, we were together, we were out to eat, and I remember we were like, "Oh, this is terrible," like whatever. And then like when we kind of stepped back from it, I don't really think it's that big of a deal. Yeah, it doesn't. I mean, definitely it caps the ceiling, I guess, a bit, but I don't know. I'm not really too worried about it.
I think he's just going to be kind of like just a better version of Darrell Williams. He's going to get the same role, which is about 35% of the snaps, 40% maybe for Le'Veon, and more, the goal line work where Darrell kind of already was. I think you're still getting largely what we've seen of Helaire. This kind of, I agree with you, caps his like ability to truly spread his wings and blow up like we were hoping for by the end of the season. That's not going to happen now, but I think you're still going to get a nice steady floor. I mean, this week, I don't really love either against the Broncos, one of the toughest run Ds, lowest points allowed to running backs, and very susceptible through the air. It is a snowy day. I don't know if that will change anything. Kind of crazy. There's already snow over in Denver. Bailey will be like, it'll snow one day, and it's like 80 degrees the next day. I don't know how
Doesn't make any sense.
West Coast weather makes no sense to me. But yeah, I wouldn't put Bell in quite yet. Intriguing storyline to watch though that we wanted to highlight.
And it'll be less annoying. Like there's nothing worse than seeing Darrell Williams in the game.
He
annoys me so much, Darrell Williams.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. Because he's just so bad. At least it's like a good player coming in now.
Yeah, I'll be like, all right, like if he lets up, like gets a few receptions, it's like it's better than Darrell Williams. Like 1 reception, 2 yards.
Exactly. And then last 2 here, Deandre Swift is expected to have expanded role. I mean, he already was, if you listen to our Wednesday podcast, he already was my higher of the week, now all the way up to running back 10 in my rankings. I expected this because of the game flow. I think it could be a shootout, and that would favor their pass-catching back, Swift. But then they have them come out and say, yeah, we're going to expand his role even on the early downs. We saw the goal line looks that he converted last week. I mean, that's the biggest news to me is typically that's AP, and AP's great there. It should be AP, but if they're going to give Swift some goal line work, that just definitely unlocks a level of ceiling that we didn't see through those first 5 weeks. He was sometimes involved in third downs in the red zone, catching a few touchdowns, but those carries are huge. And if he now gets even more early down work, like he blew up for 116 yards and 2 scores on only 38% of the snaps last week.
Yeah.
We bumped that up to 50% this week, a few more receptions. I mean, the Falcons give up the most receiving points to running backs. Pretty good against the ground. That's why I loved him. I thought everything about this defense funneled towards Deandre Swift having a big day. And now to have like the reports come out, a little disappointing in the sense that he's now going to be higher owned in DraftKings and things like that, I imagine. But still projected for under 5% ownership. I think he's going to kill it this week.
Yeah, like
what are your thoughts on Deandre Swift? Am I crazy?
Yeah. No, like his talent's always there. It's just the moron who calls the plays.
Exactly. Patricia.
Just Patricia. I know he doesn't call the plays, but just his whole just everything about him sucks. It's
Absolutely.
So that's what it will be annoying. Like we could be all in on him this week, and he'll get 25% snaps for absolutely no reason.
I just think that it could happen for sure.
Yeah.
But he's playing for his job at this point, so now it's like we've seen how much more Deandre Swift brings to this offense, and we still I don't think we've seen him fully utilized to like his fullest upside, especially as a pass catcher. This is the perfect week to see it. Deontay Johnson will be back, practiced in full. He's also only 4,200 on DraftKings, probably in season-long lineups at this point, and a great DraftKings play at that price. And on the other side, Jonnu will be back, my tight end 7 for the week. He's pretty much a set and forget. I know the matchup versus the Steelers isn't fantastic, but it's still – the Steelers defense is not that Steelers defense you have to fade. I think we're actually going to get a sneaky – I think the over-under on that's 50.5. I bet you we beat that by 8 to 10 today. I really think that game, it looks like a defensive battle, the unbeaten teams, but neither of those defenses are very good. The Steelers are certainly better than the Titans on D, but not what they were last year. I think the Titans can move it on really any team. I think the Steelers have the firepower, obviously, to match it up. So I think all your Steelers, all your Titans are in play. I'm not really fading them because of the matchup. I expect that game to actually go kind of crazy and be one of those contrarian DFS stacks that not a lot of people have. I'm into that one.
Hey,
I don't know. What do you think, CJ?
Your Titans Vegas ticket that I have, by the way, it's not looking too bad.
Not bad at all, man.
You were on fire 10 weeks ago, and now we're this isn't actually that bad.
What was it, 3,000 to 1, right, or something like that? 300 to 1.
300 to 1.
I think it was.
Yeah, I think it was
100 to 3,000, whatever that math is. I don't fucking know, but. Yeah, good stuff. And then the last note here, and then all your questions coming. Monday Night Football questionables. Henderson and Woods were both removed from the injury report. So any of those guys that you were slightly worried about, do I have to have a backup plan ready? Looks like those guys are good to go. Just kind of like a maintenance day for Henderson and Woods. Alrighty, folks. That's all I have for notes. Do we have any news yet, CJ, on Aaron Jones?
Nope, I haven't gotten any alerts yet. Probably, 10 more minutes, let's say.
Yeah, that usually comes out right around 11:30, the official actives and inactives. So we will keep our eyes out. Let me know if you see anything, and we'll be sure to hit that. Him and Tre'Davious White, kind of the two biggest ones I'm monitoring heading down to kickoff. All righty, and now we're going to hit all your questions, guys. Again, any thumbs up if you're on Facebook, you're on YouTube. Just that helps us get shared out more by the thumbs up button because it's good content. It means the world to us. So we greatly appreciate that. We're going to hit every single question we get from here on out. So let's ride this on down. Stephen Drake's always first up. Good to see you, my man. He needs 2 full PPR, Gurley, Robinson, Jackson. And how do you feel about Jared Wand Kirk? What? Not sure what that means.
How do you feel about Jared Cook and Kirk? maybe as flex option?
Jared W. I don't know. Well, you have to clarify that last part first, Steven. I apologize. It's probably going to take us a while to get back to that. For the first part, though, I'm benching personally Jackson there. I like his upside. I think he's a good play this week, top 25 running back in my rankings, but Gurley gets Detroit. I mean, that's a smash touchdown, most likely. Robinson, there's no one note that we didn't include there. No Thompson today. He's on the COVID list, so that could mean more receptions for Robinson. He already kind of was the 3-down back, but a little bit even sturdier, that floor. So I go Gurley, I go Jay Robinson, I bench Jackson, and I like Kirk. If you're asking about Christian Kirk for the flex, good upside for sure. That Seattle game tonight, I'm so excited they kept that on the PFS slate.
That would have been a disaster. They took that off.
it's my whole lineup was structured around it, and now it can stay that way. Aaron Jones is now the one that's going to throw off all the lineups if he's active at this point. So yeah, I'm so excited we're getting that game. My man Seamus, hey boys, hey, got a new dude, the blonde hair there, Seamus. What's going on? Good to see you.
Like a little 90s pop star.
Absolutely. Looking good, Seamus. Debo or McKinnon for our guy Jory. I'm going to go Debo there for the reasons, again, I don't love McKinnon this week. Jermichael Hasty out-carried him last week. Like, now Jeff Wilson's going to be back too. It could be one of those ugly three-headed situations. Shanahan's always tricky. It's one thing because McKinnon, 92% of snaps last time against the Eagles, 18 points, had a great day. But then, a week later, he has 1.5 when Mostert's back. And then after that, I don't know. It doesn't seem to me like they want to ride McKinnon. Unfortunately, because I loved McKinnon coming into the year. He's looked pretty good, but I like Debo. I don't know. What do you think is going to happen with the Pats today? Are they going to double Kittle, take him kind of out of the game?
Yeah, I could definitely. Belichick was blowing Kittle all week, being I think it was a low key shot at Gronk a little bit. He was this is one of the best tight end I've ever seen.
Wow.
And I can definitely picture him just doubling and just taking Kittle completely out of the game. It frees up Debo.
Yeah. In our secondary, I think we're the 10th most points allowed. It's nothing like it was last year. It's not a matchup you necessarily have to fade anymore, Jory. So I like Debo. I don't really, they really forced him back in last week to get him involved, and he looked just as good as he's ever looked. So I'm back on him as a nice high upside wide receiver 3, good flex play. His floor and ceiling seem higher than McKinnon, in my opinion. Mad Money. Morning, boys. Favorite part of my weekend here. Let's go. My favorite part, seeing you, Mad Money. Great to see you, dude. We got a Catan still. Never had Catan with Mad Money. That's my life goal here. Let's get it today, gents. From Danger Close. Great to see you, brother. Stephen Drake shouting out the Wolf Pack. Awesome. Allie Ann, happy Sunday. Let's go. Happy Sunday to you, too. Let's get these W's. What's good, fellas? Justin Vetter. What's going on, man? Full PPR for Mad Money. Projected to lose by 10. Pick my flex. LaVisca, MVS, or Darren Fells. Oh, boy. This is where I'll say, you know what? Is Perriman out there? I would go Perriman, Mad Money, Mike. Yeah. Especially if you're projected to lose by 10, you need that upside. Otherwise, give me LaVisca because he could also blow up too. But I like Perriman, I think, more than any of those options. I don't know. MVS, though, the shootout with Houston, that game.
I was just thinking I can definitely picture red zone flips over to it's a 60-yard bomb to MVS.
Yeah.
I think if you're down, I like MVS there, I think.
You go MVS over Perriman?
Yeah, I think so. But better offense if you're a little more trustworthy, even though he's the least trustworthy. But I still.
Mad Money. I'm going Perriman or Visca of your options, and CJ's going MVS. McGinnis with a great question here. Blank. Thanks, Jimmy. Great question. Tunyon or Hawkinson for PPR. Kevin Ford also playing Stafford because of Lamar's bye. Stack them up. I say go Hawkinson. Atlanta, second most points to tight ends, first adjusted in terms of expectation points. Tunyon's in a nice spot against Houston too, but a little banged up coming into the week. Hawkinson's a touchdown every week, and this is the upside that where he could really add on that 50 to 100 yards with the touchdown against such a bad defense. Do you agree with Hawkinson over Tunyon?
Yeah, and then I have Hawkinson in my my prop bets too. I like him a lot this week.
What's his? Yeah, we'll make sure to hit your props. Let me pull up the Instagram just to make sure we have that ready. for later. We'll hit those props after about 10 questions to make sure we get them in nice and early for the show for everyone to place their bets. Higgins or Chark for Justin Vetter, Tanny or Teddy? Thanks. So I'm all in on Higgins this week. I love Higgins. I love the passing game. I think Cleveland's going to run all over the Bengals, which is going to create some scripts for the Bengals to really have to throw. They play a lot of like cover shells, which is going to result in a lot of run after the catch opportunities. And Higgins has been a monster after the catch. So I love that one. They're giving up the fourth most points to wide receivers. I get AJ Green had a good day last week. So now it's like, is it congested? Is it three-headed? But Higgins to me seems like it was Boyd early on, but more and more that rookie connection just is cooking. But that's tough. I have him literally like 2 spots in my rankings, Higgins versus Chark. What do you think of that one, CJ?
Yeah, I'm with you there. I'm not afraid of AJ Green. He's not going to affect any line decisions for me. But yeah, Burrow loves them. They have a great connection up there.
Yeah, Chark is in a good spot. I mean, the Chargers so dinged up on the secondary. 14 targets were the most last week of any player. So the volume's there. That's just not happening yet. You know, with Minshew, a little heat on him, a potential to get benched today is the report from Rap Sheet. He's probably going to go to his most comfortable source, which is Chark. I guess this is more me saying I'm just really high on Higgins. It's not a matter of not liking Chark this week. For the quarterback side of that, Tanny or Teddy, I like them both. Teddy's got the matchup, but I have a hard time sitting Tannehill, and I'm not scared of that Steelers defense as some people might be. I think this Titans team is as legit as they come. Arthur Smith's a G. They just steamroll. I don't know. I don't think they're going to get stopped by the Steelers. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, with this, I agree 100% with. I do love Teddy this week. I like Tannehill a lot. I mean, you can't fade anyone on that team right now. Mm-hmm. And also we do have Aaron Jones out. So.
It's official. Aaron Jones is out.
Yeah,
that's huge. Now I can set my stuff in peace. I was gonna have to probably take off 20 minutes early and fix all my lineups because I have Jamal Williams in all of them. So that's interesting. Ask it on the show. Getting questions from the living room. That's not how it's done. We are professionals here. Tien Nguyen asking Drank. Get that Drank. Or Justin Jackson. Drake or Justin Jackson. I don't know. Drake's one of the most interesting cases.
Oh my God.
I'm going to get back in. I'm going to believe in him. I played him last week, and it was nice to get those points.
Yeah.
And then he's going to fuck me, isn't he? Like, he's just going to
I'm hoping for one more blow up this week and try to sell him.
Yeah.
As high as possible. I've
seen a lot of, like, Seattle's run defense is so good. I mean, Madison steamrolled that team for 100 yards in the second half, and Dalvin Cook, they got ran all over. I don't think they're impenetrable. I don't think that it's a great matchup, especially because it could be a shootout, and that's where Drake seems to fade. But I think I'm going to go Drake over Jackson. Yeah. I don't know. Jackson is intriguing, but it could become Kelly at the goal line. I don't know. Drake's more the featured back. Edmonds, yes, he catches the ball a bit. But after that blow up, I'm going to keep his confidence high. I'm going to slap him on the ass and send him on back in. He got the pep talk from Mama. Certainly better than T.Y.'s grandma's pep talk. I like Mama's pep talk to keep Drake rolling. I go Drake. Do you go Drake over Jackson? You're a Jackson.
Yeah, I'm going one more week of Drake, and then I'm hopefully off of him. Hopefully just get away from me.
Scott Brooks, heyo, what's going on, brother? Good to see you this Sunday. I love the like Scott last week, one of our typical every week fans, which I love to see you guys keep coming back. Like when they can't make them, they'll like DM us, be like, sorry, I wasn't at the show. It's like, it's all good. We miss you, but it's all good, man. So I'm happy you could catch us this week, Scott. What's the games you're targeting in DFS? So last week I nailed that one, right? The Texans and Titans ended up hitting the highest over. How can it not be Seattle versus Arizona tonight? Like that game's going to go berserk. A lot of people also on the Houston and the Green Bay game, which deservedly so. That should put up its points. That's the highest over under of the slate. But I love everything about the night game. But tunes for my low ownership, I really do think that Steelers, Pittsburgh, and the Titans, I think that game could just kind of go crazy, and everyone's going to be off of it because everybody else wants those two more popular games. Wouldn't be shocked to see that game hit totals pretty close to those with a lot less ownership, a lot cheap prices in that game. Claypool's 5,700 and projected to be 6% owned because Deontay's back and a better value and people don't want two Steelers. Well, drive down Claypool's ownership. I'm going to own him all day. Deontay at 4,200. I could put them both in and be confident. So yeah, that's my sneaky game to target. But of course, it's Seattle and Arizona. Do you have what do you think of the highest hits this week, CJ?
That's the layup, the Seattle Arizona game. That's going to be insane. I can't wait for that. I love that they pushed it back too.
I know, and I love that DraftKings kept it on the slate for us as well. Yeah. Like it's nice. I mean, the Raiders and Bucks has a chance, but I kind of just like Ronald Jones in that game. I think your boy. I got to give it to you. You stuck it out with Ronald Jones, and he's coming through.
Yeah, until Fournette today eats like 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, right, exactly. Late mop-up duty. This is going to be a big one. I think that's a really good point is does Ronald Jones stay as this every down back with Fournette back? It's, obviously Fournette's been out and that's helped. But with a healthy Fournette, can Ronald Jones keep doing it? I think he does. Arians came out and said, I have no problem giving this guy 25 carries and 5 targets every week. But we've also seen Arians say, I'll never sign Antonio Brown, and sign Antonio Brown last week. Well, we can talk about him in a little bit too. Very intrigued by this signing. So I don't know if I should believe anything that he ever says. The matchup, though, is so good for Jones. I think he's going to steamroll him for sure. Our guy, Scotty Brooks, full PPR, Tunyon or Gronk? I'm definitely doing Tunyon there. Gronk, yeah, he had his resurrection week last week. And then I saw everybody's ranking him as like a top 8 tight end because of 1 week. He's literally been 2 points every other week. I'm not in on that yet. No way. Tunyon's been a beast. And Houston's so generous to tight ends. Fursker had 100 yards and a TD last week. Whoever the fuck Anthony Fursker is. So I like Tunyon to have a nice day. No doubt. Big upside there. You hate Gronk too, right?
Yeah. No, that's easy.
Remember, still probably my best tweet. My worst tweet was Teddy Bridgewater over Aaron Rodgers, but my best was Jonnu Smith over Gronk. That one went crazy, and it's looking as good as can be right now. David Campanile, full PPR, starting Diggs, always Diggs. Need one more. Damn, pretty loaded. It comes down to Lockett, A.J. Brown, Edelman, Shenault. I don't think Edelman and Shenault are even in the conversation when you have Lockett and A.J. Brown.
Edelman's borderline cuttable, in my opinion.
I think so, too. One big game against Seattle, which they give up big games to every single receiver. The inconsistent game flow is going to be a problem every year. And even in matchups where it should be a good game flow, he hasn't really done much. They were down all last week. If you're not down against the Broncos, not a good secondary, and then don't get it done, I don't know. Yeah, I'm with you. I think Edelman could be cut. Out of Lockett or A.J. Brown, that's tricky, but I feel like I got to go for that Lockett, go for the blow up tonight. I think he could have one of those crazy, 172 TD, like first halves type of thing, AJ Brown, though, I'm really not scared of the Steelers matchup. I'd love to see if you could get one of those guys into a flex, but between the two, I think I go Lockett. What are your thoughts, CJ?
Yeah, I'd lean Lockett there. I know you're not afraid of the Steelers, but I do against wide receiver ones. I feel like they would. I don't know the exact stats, but I feel like they could kind of lock that down a little bit and at least quiet them down.
So there is an interesting fantasypoints.com. They have a good grid where they do like defenses against wide receiver ones, wide receiver twos, wide receiver threes, and like how many points are allowed. The Steelers are like 17th against wide receiver one. So pretty good. I think it's like -2, your usual expectation. And then they're like top 5 in points allowed to wide receiver twos. So they give up a lot more to wide receiver twos. And then they're like number 1 against wide receiver threes, like those little slot guys. So that's where Seamus with Adam Humphries might end up being a good call. We'll see. To be A.J. Brown, though, he's like the type of guy that knifes through any type of defense if he, gets loose. So I love him. But, yeah, give me Lockett. Similar ceilings. I think Lockett a little bit of a higher floor because of the matchup. I own Aaron Jones and both his backups. Can start any of the 3 of them at RB2 or avoid the situation altogether and start James White. So one, Mateo, you don't want to avoid the situation because you're getting Houston. Any running back against Houston is a complete and utter layup. To me, Williams is going to be a top 15 guy now that it's confirmed he's out. I have him actually exactly at 15. What a cake matchup. Over 160 yards allowed on the ground. Most points to running backs allowed. Just a pathetic defense in general. I think Williams is going to obviously get the first crack, and he's looked good. I mean, I always like to shit on Williams and call him a plotter and like, why the fuck's this guy ever in? But this year, I feel like he's got a little bit more juice every time I've seen him. What do you think?
Like, he doesn't look as like pudgy as he used to. I feel like.
Yeah, contract year. Maybe a little motivated. Yeah, exactly. He's always, when he came in, he's like, ugh, like that doughy guy is in. Like, what's he doing? Look at me, my like tanked off collar.
we're like
Jamal Williams knocks at the door like shirtless. Yeah, doughy. But he does seem to have a little more juice this year. He's gotten very limited work, but whenever he gets it, a couple of weeks ago, he had like 18 fantasy points on only 8 touches. He's now going to get 15 to 20 against again, Houston defense giving up the most points to running backs, 15 to 20 touches against them, gold mine. Top 15, maybe even top like 12 guy this week, Jamal Williams. I do think Dillon is startable. If I had both, I'm clearly going Williams. Dillon's definitely startable, and an interesting pivot if you're going on DraftKings, like you want to kind of be contrarian for a big tournament. I'll do one where I swap Dillon in for Jamal Williams. Jamal Williams, I'm hammering in every lineup now, $4,000 a joke. I do think Dillon could have a nice flex-worthy day if they get up big early. Now it could become game script, and we don't even see Dillon if the Texans get up early, because Williams is great. Jamal Williams, great in pass protection. He kind of plays on the passing downs already because he's a better pass protector than anyone they have. So to me, he gets locked into a huge workload, regardless of the game flow. Dillon, if it goes his way and gets a few carries, I mean, the comparables to him were Derrick Henry coming out because of the size, the speed. I mean, 250. With those tree trunks, I just always got to shout out those legs of AJ Dillon. Craziness. So like for me, I'm going to put the trunks in. I'm going to put the trunks in over Jet McKinnon this week because McKinnon scares me and the legs excite me. But out of all those guys, I go Jamal Williams for sure, Mateo. I know I took a long one on that, but I know a lot of people are going to be asking about them. So I wanted to kind of unpack that for you. And where does Williams land in your rankings? Yeah, running back 15, Mike Clay. And probably even higher. Stephanie, Progan, half PPR, Gallup, Lindsay, full point PPR, Bobby Trazer, Traquan. Go Pats today. Certainly go Pats. Let's get those 49ers down. These ones are all – this is tricky. I don't really love like anybody for Gallup, Lindsay. I don't know, Lindsay. No, because Gordon's back. And like,
Gallup.
I guess I go Gallup and I hope for a blow up, but – dare I say, Rashad Perriman? I think so. Here's one where I would rather have check Stephanie is AJ Dillon out there. I think AJ Dillon would make an intriguing stream here, right?
Yeah,
like
I have much higher touchdown upside than anyone.
He would definitely. I think he scores. I think AJ Dillon's going to get a touchdown today. It's just a matter of does he steamroll and get like a 60-yard touchdown? Is it a goal line plot in? Like he's going to fall into the end zone. I think I'd go check if he's there, Steph. Again, 14% owned. I think Dillon can make a very intriguing, viable stream. If not, I would go Gallup out of those. I think I go Bobby over Traquan, but I do like the upside without any other pass catchers there for Traquan. But I feel like Woods is like he's getting you a touchdown every week.
Yeah,
let's just not mention
full PPR too. Yeah.
Tough matchup versus the Bears, but you get that Monday night hope going as well. I roll with Bobby Trees. We covered this one for Tunes. Thoughts on CEH? I think we're going to get largely the same. It just kind of caps his ceiling to become anything else at this point for this year. It's just going to be a more souped up Darrell Williams, in my opinion. There is, of course, the downside that like Bell just looks great, and he certainly is a great pass catcher. So like there is the slight chance, let's give it 5% chance that Bell just outplays him in every facet and takes over. Like that could happen. That would blow. I don't expect that. I think it's going to be a souped up Darrell Williams type of role for CEH. I mean, for Bell with CEH doing largely what he's already doing is my guess. I know CJ was in agreement earlier.
Yeah.
Dylan Vargara, good to see you. Happy Sunday. Start one half PPR, Drake or Gio. Ooh, you got the floor with Gio. You got the points. I'm leaning Drake. I like the ceiling of Drake a bit more. But if you want just guaranteed 10, Gio's going to get you 10 today. And the ceiling's actually not far off. Sentimentally, I'm going Drake. But what are your thoughts on that one, CJ?
Yeah, I'm going Drake still. More of like, I know he will, I guess, get less usage than Gio, but I just trust him more as like a legitimate kind of like a 3-down back.
Yeah. I think that team really goes crazy tonight. Like, everybody's going to go crazy tonight, is my opinion on the night game. So I go Drake there. I do. David getting another one in for us. Full PPR, starting Zeke, need 2. Who do you bench out of Rojo, Robinson, Hunt? Good options. I think Robinson's my clear bench there, though. What do you think, CJ?
Yeah, I love Kareem Hunt. Ronald, I am like a little bit amused afraid of Leonard Fournette for some reason, just because I hate the guy so much. But yeah, I'm still riding Rojo.
Would you? Yeah, that was the question. Kind of comes down to is Hunt's the lock. We know Hunt's going in Cincinnati. I think he's my second running back with Aaron Jones out now. I think literally Hunt's my RB2. He's in, even above Zeke. So like Kareem Hunt's your lock, and then Zeke of course is in. I get Fournette, and Fournette might even have a decent day. I just think if the Raiders can keep it close, we're not going to see Fournette. Even if they can't keep it close, I think that means Rojo's probably done his damage already. And Robinson, no Thompson, I get that upside. And Chargers not a scary matchup, but I think Rojo's foolproof today. That's a horrible thing to say because Ronald Jones has been the opposite of foolproof. Right when you trust him, he'll fucking give you the middle finger. But I think this year's different. I really do. So yeah, Hunt and Rojo, we're riding it out. Jeremiah Moore, fresh off carrying all the chairs out at church. What's going on, my man? Would you play Dillon or Kelly? I'm super thin this week. And would you play Kirk? I would do Dillon over Kelly. The question becomes, do I do Dillon over Kirk tonight? I don't know about that. What are your thoughts on A.J. Dillon versus Christian Kirk?
No, I think I like Kirk there after last week's blow up. Yeah, I'm going Kirk there.
I think I'm going to go Kirk as well. It's close, but Seattle's given up by far like a significantly amount more to wide receivers than any other team in the league. It's really bad. And so that, especially if they sell out to stop Hopkins, which I don't think they can or will, Kirk's going to get a long score tonight. I like Dillon, but especially if it's PPR, and I think you are, Jeremiah, you'll get some catches from Kirk. I'm going to go Kirk there. Full PPR, tight end, Dalton Schultz, Furska, Hurst, or Njoku. Not Furska. We got Jonnu back, so we don't have to consider him. It comes down to Hurst or Schultz for me. Schultz getting the Washington football team because of the second most tight ends seems intriguing, but that offense is just taking an obvious 5 steps back. And
it's so sad.
It's the worst.
We need Fitz over there as soon as possible.
Imagine that. I said that on Wednesday's pod. Like, if Fitzmagic could get traded there, he'd be a top 5 quarterback for fantasy. Like, no doubt about it. Bombs away. Kellen Moore's offense is all about the deep shot. I'm praying Fitzmagic lands there. I'll bid all my waiver wire money on him if he ends up in Dallas. And just for their weapons too, it would be a beautiful thing to see. Schultz is really getting tough to trust. I own him in 2 leagues and I'm hating it. I love the matchup today, but third, he's down to the 4th or probably 5th option behind the 3 receivers and Zeke in this offense. And you're looking at a touchdown or bust type of guy now because it's just not sustainable to have 5 mouths fed by Andy Dalton ever. And it just doesn't seem like he has that red zone rapport with him. So I like Schultz's matchup, but I feel like Hurst might be the safest. He's been pretty steady, right? I don't own Hurst, so I don't know how he's been. Either, I feel like every week I see him score. Like,
yeah, I know.
It's his long hair's overflowing on the red zone at some point.
Yeah, I'm going Hurst.
Yeah, Hurst for me. Dylan Vargara, half PPR. Pick one. Edelman, no. Well, I guess here's the other options: DeMarcus and Ruggs. Oh man, Brashard Perriman. I'm telling you, Perriman's going to have a day today. He's going to. This is like my Burkhead day. I feel pretty good about this one. Could you look up CJ if Tre'Davious White's in or out? Have you seen that one?
He is in. Yeah, they just announced. There weren't really many newsworthy guys that were announced, but
besides Aaron Jones.
Curtis Samuel, Tunyon, Sam Darnold, Tre'Davious White, and inactives like Jamison Crowder, basically Nova, Aaron Jones, Jordan Akins.
The people we all expected, yeah. I think I'm gonna go. I want to say Edelman because that team is so bad, the 49ers on secondary, but like that, I don't know. I have no confidence in really any Patriots weapon outside of Cam Newton. I don't know. This is gross. I would go Perriman over any of these 3 if he's available, Dylan Vargara. But if not, then I guess I'm going to go Edelman and hope he catches it. I don't know. DeMarcus, I guess, with Watkins out could be intriguing. This is a gross one. I think I'm going to go Edelman out of these three, but Parameter's out there. What do you think,
CJ? I can't really argue with you on this. I guess I'll go Edelman's not even – I can't even say his floor anymore. So
yeah, there's no floor anymore. No. He's just the biggest name. And he at some point he's going to have an 8-catch day. It could be today. Standard with bonuses, Juju, Kupp, Mike Williams, Cooks. I don't know if you just need one of these guys. I feel like Kupp's the name, but I really like Mike Williams with Herbert. I think Herbert could go completely bananas.
Yeah.
Cooks has been on an absolute roll too, though. That one comes down to the Texans is who is Jair Alexander covering? Because it's been legitimate. He'll take a receiver out of the game this year. Took out, Ridley. He's done it like Evans He's done it multiple weeks in a row. So if he's on Cooks, you're not going to get anything. But if he's on Fuller, Cooks could end up having a monster day. I'd probably go Kupp out of all these, but it's close. I mean, I don't love that matchup at all against Chicago. And I really like Mike Williams. Williams would excite me more than Kupp. I think I'm going to go Mike Williams for the long touchdown bonus that you get. What do you think, CJ?
Yeah, I'd just play it safe. I think with Kupp, I feel like he'll have his 6+ receptions, and I think he is just the safest play here.
All righty, Kupp for CJ, Williams for me, David. Dillon, DeMarcus, or Visca. You're all in on DeMarcus Robinson, huh? It's kind of disgusting. I'm going to go Visca, but yeah. I'm not going to feel great about it. Tim Gray, good to see you, brother. Antonio Gibson, Swift, OBJ, Justin Jackson. Thanks, guys. I think Swift's my lock. That's a no-brainer. Top 10 running back for me this week. And then all the other guys, I like Gibson the most. Jackson's probably the safest. We've been down on OBJ since before the season started. He was our must-avoid at where he was going. So I don't even consider him any week. He's had that one good week against Dallas. Everybody has good weeks.
And it was a 60-yard rush. And just
right, exactly. Let's go Fitzmagic to Cleveland. That could be a movement.
Yeah.
That could unlock some OBJ action. But I can't trust OBJ. So I think this is Gibson's coming out week. I don't know. I feel like I've said that on the show for 7 straight weeks.
7 weeks in a row.
Dallas, Kenyon Drake had his coming out party against him. They just love to invite running backs to come out. And I think Gibson is going to have his party today. The script will hopefully favor it if that D-line does what they need to do for Washington. Jackson might be the safer play, but something about it, Swift I love. He's the lock. And then I really am feeling Gibson today. What are your thoughts on the –
Yeah, Swift is locked in. I think I would go with Justin Jackson. He looked really good 2 weeks ago. And I'm just proud of him.
Yeah, he's certainly safer, but I'm leaning the Gibson upside, my friend Timmy Gray here. But we'll see. We will see. And again, just a quick reminder, guys, any likes during this show, thumbs up on YouTube or Facebook. We even got some shocked faces on Facebook. I don't know what we said that was so shocking to the crowd, but that's what we bring here, the shock value at RSJ. But any of those thumbs up reactions help us get out to more people. And definitely, if you're willing to share the stream link within a Facebook or whatever group, Reddit, wherever you're at, it helps us out, get discovered. So we're here to help you. That's a way that you guys could really help us get discovered, is likes, shares, all that good stuff. So thanks again for spending your Saturday and your Sunday mornings with us. And I do want to pump up tonight. We will be having another post-game tailgate. Me and the Truth will be back right after Red Zone ends, recapping your biggest studs and duds of the week, the 3 up, 3 down, any injuries you need to know, some waiver wire names to file away and get looking at ahead of your league mates. And then we'll, of course, any mailbag questions you have. Maybe we'll look at some props. Tonight's action. You want action tonight. It's going to be a fun game. So I'm sure, CJ, you'll have some props ready for tonight. I think we got to do a contest, right? Like a Kyler Murray, one of the RSJ matchups. We'll do one of those. We'll have a lot of good stuff for you tonight. Some games, your questions. We'll look at the DFS matchups. So come on down tonight, right after Red Zone, 7:30-ish, whenever that's going to be. We will be here live for you guys with your post-game tailgate. Back to your questions. Back with a regular here, Jimmy Bridges. Welcome back, sir. What's up, Wolf? No love for the Silent Assassin. We haven't had any Silent Assassin comments today. Where's your boys, CJ?
I think you skipped another Campanelli question. Right about
I'll get right back to Campanelli. DJ Moore, Higgins. I'm loving Higgins. I do like Moore's matchup. I mean, 11 targets back-to-back weeks. Won't be drawing Lattimore most likely. So I get that one, but I'm just so in on Higgins. This is nothing against DJ Moore. It's more about just loving Higgins this week. Where do you draw the line on Higgins, though? Is DJ Moore something you do above him, CJ?
I like Higgins a lot, but yeah, I'm sticking it safe once again. I feel like a little safe kid this week, but I'm going Moore here.
Yeah, I go Higgins. He goes Moore. This is more again about me being all in on Higgins this week. Standard with bonus is already starting Drake. Need two more. Who do you bench? McKinnon, Williams, or Bernard? That's kind of an easy bench to me. I'm benching McKinnon out of those options. Now with Aaron Jones ruled out, Jamaal is locked in. Gio Bernard with Mixon out, locked in. McKinnon just, who knows what he's going to do. To me, he's an easy bench. What about you, CJ?
Yeah, I agree with that. That's pretty easy.
The tunes. Michael Thomas, E. Sanders out. Anyone worth playing today off the waiver wire? Brashard Perriman. But first, look for Traquan Smith. Traquan's got to be your number one option. But Perriman, somebody on the Jets is going to have a big receiving day today. I personally am siding with Perriman. It could end up being Mims. It could end up being Berrios. It could be Jeff fucking Smith. Who knows? But Perriman did have 4 for 60 last week, and he had a good rapport with Darnold all camp. I think we see it come out today. I really do. Half PPR, would you start for Danger Close, Gio or Swift? I'm in shambles. That's a pretty good option, Danger Close, and you're not in shambles if you have those two. I love Swift, though. Bernard's in a good spot, but Swift is that play. I'm definitely Swift over Gio. What do you think?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Not in shambles either.
Yeah, come on, Danger Close. That's not shambles at all. What are you drinking over there, CJ? Is that a seltzer?
A regular one.
I was going to say, you're getting it early today. I like it.
Just a little Poland Spring.
David Borgin. Jamal Williams or Singletary? Williams, definitely. AJ Dillon or Zach Moss? Dillon, definitely. I'm all about this Packers running game. I think 2 top 24 running backs this week because of the matchup and just because the offense has been so good. I'm really excited to see what Dillon does. This is going to be our first real extended look at him. He got 5 carries last week, ripped it for 30 yards, started to kind of ease his way in, and I think we get 10 to 15 carries. I think he's going to have a big day. I don't know. I'm hopeful owner right now, but I'm feeling pretty good about Dillon. Did you like him coming out of Boston College? What are your thoughts on AJ Dillon?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he was a second round pick. I feel like that was kind of a stretch for them. But yeah, I mean, he was the definition of a workhorse there. He would get literally 25 to 30 touches a game. Yeah. And he's just huge, and he's built to be a lead back. So.
Exactly. And his size speed scores, as you said earlier, on the same exact level of Derrick Henry, the guy who just steamrolled that team for 220 yards and 2 TDs. We're not saying he's Henry, but in those limited 5-6 carries we've seen of him, he looks like he hits the hole really fucking hard, and he's ready to hit defenders, and I love that. So I'm excited. He's probably the guy I'm watching the most for today is AJ Dillon. I do think Jamal Williams is going to crush it and have a great day, but I think Williams could also have a nice day behind him. In fact, that might be the DraftKings contrarian play is both guys at $4,000, save money and just load up elsewhere. I could see them both having really big days. I stole Dalvin Cook from my opponent for Teddy, Hollywood, and Bell. That is thievery, Jeremiah. Dalvin Cook probably is going to be the number 2 as long as we get him back and healthy, probably the number 2 running back the rest of the year. Start 1, half PPR, Woods, Ruggs, Mike Williams. I'm going to go Woods. Mike debut, intriguing. Ruggs is not even in that conversation. But I like Woods more than Williams. Do you like that too?
Yeah, that's yeah, I'm going Woods.
the Mike Williams looked really fucking. He always looked good.
For a second, but yeah, I'm going Woods.
If Keenan was out, this would be a tougher question for sure. But Keenan has had that 40% target share, and we don't know what Williams will do now with those two together in the lineup. I do think Herbert's going to blow up. Chark or Higgins at flex? Got to go Higgins, right? Yeah, I go Higgins. I mean, they're close. They're very close in the rankings, Noah Pringle. But I'm all about Higgins this week. I know you've said the other guy over Higgins. What do you think of Higgins versus Chark?
Yeah, I'm going Higgins. I think we had this question earlier, didn't we? But yeah, I'm going Higgins here.
Yeah. There is certainly upside with Chark, but I'm a big fan of Higgins. Katie Jiggs picking RB2 and flex. Gibson, McKinnon, Lamb, full PPR. I think I'm going to bench McKinnon out of those options. Lamb certainly scarier with Dalton now, but he seemed to be his routes and his tree. I mean, he can run it all, but he's certainly the yards after the catch, like out of the slot. That seems to be a better fit for Dalton's game than what it might be for other players. So I like benching McKinnon there. He just scares the shit out of me this week. What about you, CJ? Gibson, McKinnon, Lamb.
Yeah, I like Gibson and Lamb there. You talked me into it. So I didn't really think of – I have McKinnon in one lineup, but you have kind of talked me off of him a lot. I wish I had another option, but I'm not desperate right now.
Do you have Dillon? Quads?
Oh, it's that weird like 2-point PPR league, so I'm hoping that he catches the balls.
Dillon already got scooped in that league?
No, but I'm saying just because it's 2-point PPR, I feel like McKinnon could catch like 5 balls, and it's like cheap high scoring league.
We'll see. I don't know. Dillon can catch the ball. That boy can move and he can catch. He might get 5 or 6 stupid catches. You never know. Start Tannehill or Herbert. I go Herbert. I mean, I'm a huge Tannehill guy, but I'm a huge Herbert guy too. And the matchup is just pure juice against the Jaguars today. Yeah. No reason to bench Herbert. I mean, sunshine, that long hair. I love him. He's been a monster. What about you, CJ? Tannehill or Herbs?
Yeah, I love Herbert this week. I'm going with him.
No doubt. We got David Campanile. Can't wait for CJ's prop bets. Well, let's not make you wait. Let's pull them on up. I'm going to share my screen. Give me 1 sec. Screen share. Pull them up. Do you want to start? Hold on. It'll look better when we have the graphic. Week 7 QB props. I'll zoom on in and share the screen. So all you gambling addicts out there, here's some good prop bets for you to take a look at. And while this is loading, of course, any thumbs up, regardless of where you're watching, are so appreciated to help us find more people, to answer more questions, to help get more lineups set. And that's what we are here to do. So CJ, I think it is up now. So take it away. Let me get the question out of the way so we can see it. Banner's in the way. Hold on. Which banner were we on? Boom. All righty.
Yeah, so this is Sunday night now, but just the ones get in there. Murray, it's not even that juicy, which surprised me. I thought it'd be like minus like 175 or 200, but over 1.5 touchdown passes. It seems like that almost feel like my play of the day. Pat Mahomes over 22.5 rushing yards. He's been running the ball a ton lately. I play this every single week and it hits every single week, so can't stop now. Then Aaron Rodgers over 10.5 rushing yards. He's eclipsed this, I think, 3 out of the last 4 weeks or so. He doesn't really run often, but with Aaron Jones out, I could see him having to scramble like once or twice, and that will get you 11 yards.
That's literally 1 first down scramble. We're gonna have one broken.
And actually, I'm like I know I do play these on Thursday night like every single week now, and they hit all the time. Like it's every single quarterback can basically get you 10 to 15 yards.
Yeah, the quarterback rushing props has been literally a gold mine for us. So totally.
And then, I'm sticking with Ronald Jones over 67.5. That dropped like 20 yards with Fournette. I think from last week, I think he was around like 80-ish, I want to say last week. And then Mike Davis over 34.5 receiving yards. That also dropped. I think, he's also gone over 40 yards, I think, in most of his starts. And then Zeke over 29.5 receiving yards. He got peppered last week, didn't do anything with his receptions, but I can see him breaking the screen here too.
Absolutely. I think all those are hammers. Ronald Jones, he's at over 100 yards. Like, I'm not that worried. Fournette's running it. It's because they're up so big. And that means Ronald Jones has already smashed this prop. Davis, I mean, he's 90% of Christian McCaffrey right now, and McCaffrey was a cheat code. So yes, he'll get 6 targets, 6 catches. He'll hit that. And Zeke, 10 catches last week. Yeah, absolutely. And I could see Washington getting up on this team. If the defense can do their job early and Washington puts up their points early, if they're in a script that they have to throw, Zeke should definitely catch that. So into that, I think I'm going to switch posts by accident. Did not mean to do that. Let me go back. All right, wide receiver props.
Yeah, I like Ridley to score a touchdown this week after Julio put up 2 last week. That won't happen again. And
Ridley scored last week too, right? Even if Julio put one up, he's going to score. Absolutely.
Yeah. Marvin Jones over 3.5 receptions. Jimmy had like some insane stat about like Marvin Jones off a bye week. He's like the weirdest smash player of all time. Yeah, the DFS article, I saw it and I was like, what the hell is this? But
and he's facing Atlanta, so I mean, if that's true, he's got two things in his favor right now.
Yeah, and then Keenan Allen, I like him. His back injury was kind of fluky, but Herbert, if he's healthy, Herbert will pepper. And then Diggs over 75.5 receiving yards. I also like his reception total is 5.5, which you should hit that.
Yeah.
It was pretty expensive. It was like minus like 180 or something, but I went with the cheaper option there.
He's gonna hammer that for sure.
And then Tunyon to score a touchdown plus 130, and Hawkinson over 3.5 receptions.
There you guys go. The props of the week brought to you by CJ. Hammer those. Our record is pretty damn good on our props so far. So that is definitely some action to get on in if you want some easy Sunday money. All righty, back to your guys' questions. We left off with
Dillon Varga.
Yes, hold on. Can't wait for CJ's props. There we are. Okay. Start Tunyon or Hunter Henry. Two good matchups. I'm leaning Tunyon for the upside. Henry's got a nice floor, but it just doesn't seem like he's going crazy. I like Tunyon there. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm going Tunyon. He's gonna score his touchdown. So
nice. Trying to break the question record today. I love it, Dillon. Break our question record. I think this year we've hit over 200 a couple times. Dare we get to 300? We'll see. Claypool or Boyd? I love Claypool. I'm not benching Claypool. Boyd's obviously in a good spot too, but I like Claypool. Would you go Claypool or would you go Boyd?
Yeah, I'm going Claypool.
Yeah, he's too good. More like Dillon Varga with those rock hard questions.
No, more like Dillon Viagra with those rock hard questions.
Oh, Dillon. I love it. If your questions last longer than 8 hours, call 911 head ass. I always love when we get league mates in the show together and they start talking shit. Those guys got to be some league mates here. Jimmy G, Tannehill, or Breeze? I love Tannehill out of those options. Eddie Sanchez. Jimmy G would be next up. I don't trust Breeze today against Carolina, and Jimmy G is really pretty far away from Tannehill, in my opinion. Good morning, Eric L. Smith. Godwin or Deontay in the flex full PPR? I guess I got to go Godwin there. I want to see Deontay make it through a game before I really trust him again, and Godwin's certainly a good enough option to go. You think Godwin's a lock?
Yeah, I'm going Godwin there. He needs to make his presence felt before AB steals all of his.
Yeah, right. Turn up the heat a little bit, like prove your worth right now. Stafford or Herbert? That's tough because Stafford gets Atlanta, but I love Herbert. I'm going Herbert. Herbert hasn't disappointed yet. Stafford's been kind of underwhelming even in the good matchups. Do you draw the line there? Do you go Stafford because of Atlanta, or what do you think?
No, I have this in one league, and I'm going Herbert. So.
There you go. This might be a bit early, but if you can stash Dobbins, I predict they will try and design the run to get him out in open space, especially against Pittsburgh. I hope so. I still think he's been so underutilized, and that run attack has just been abysmal, puke-worthy. So I hope so. I just don't know.
Ingram's banged up, isn't he?
Right. So if that is true, he's banged up, and if he misses this week and they kind of game plan around Dobbins and he performs well, Eric, he could blow up. It's been so useless, but if he's out there on waiver wires, absolutely worth a stash, because if Ingram misses the game and we suddenly see a blow up, they'll keep riding him if so. So yeah, I like that. Hawkinson or Jonnu for tunes? I like Hawkinson there. I like the Atlanta matchup a little bit more than the Pittsburgh matchup. You agree?
Yeah.
Who would you go with, Traquan or Nikhil? Definitely Traquan there with all those receivers out. Quinn Hartman, need 3. David Johnson, Gio, Jamal, and Mike Davis. I think I'm benching Gio. Davis and Jamal are the highest for me, Quinn. I mean, David Johnson's gross, and he's getting slower by the week.
Oh, his usage is like off the charts, though.
18, 20 carries a week. Green Bay is giving up the second most points on the ground to only the Texans in that game. They're going back and forth. I think he's a lock to see 15 carries and find the end zone. So give me Jamal, give me Mike Davis, and give me David Johnson there, Quinn. I've asked this all week: Tannehill, Herbert, Stafford. I have AJ Brown and Hawkinson for stacks. I don't think you have to force stacks in season long. It's more of a DFS thing. But either way, I like Herbert here. Yeah, Herbert's my favorite of those options. Yeah. So we're not going for a stack. We're going Herbert. 909 Orbit, start 2 PPR, A-Rob, Higgins, or Mike Will. I am gonna Higgins. A-Rob, I think. Bench Mike Will. I do love him, but I like those other guys a bit more. Even though Ramsey's probably going to be on A-Rob. Who do you go? Which two do you pick?
Yeah, I'm A-Rob's a lock. He's a lock in every week, and then I'm going Higgins over Mike Williams.
Starting Dalton over Minshew after Yahoo's latest note about personal potential benching seems reasonable, right? Yeah, I mean, if you get Mike Glennon coming into the game at halftime, that would be the worst fucking thing in the world. I don't know why they would do that. Like, was that actually add to your team? No one will ever know. But I can see Dalton, against Washington, decent upside. Yeah. I'd even probably rather have like Kyle Allen in at this point than Minshew. That makes me nervous. I actually have to make sure I have that updated on my rankings. I took care of all those notes. I took Aaron Jones out, but I don't think I've adjusted for the potential that Minshew gets benched, and that's terrifying.
They'll also make him play decent, I guess.
Yeah, what if it fires him up and he throws like 305? Yeah. Could happen. That's the other flip side of this, but pick two, CEH, Gurley, McKinnon, Jackson. I'm going to go the first two, Clyde and Gurley. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I don't care about Gurley as a talent, but he's actually been pretty decent this year. He's better than I expected. So, I'm going Clyde and Gurley.
Matchup's good for Gurley. Clyde is just Clyde, so I got to do it. And the event, D-Hop's a no-go. I think he's definitely a go, but would Fitz or Isabella be a better last-minute pickup? Oof. That's pretty gross. Who's the Monday night game? I'm trying to think of like what you could scramble to for tomorrow night. It's the Bears versus the Rams. There's not going to be much to stream.
The shitty Monday night game.
I mean, I might go like Anthony Miller at that point over those guys. Maybe Fitz. Like Isabella, I mean, you toss it in and hoping for a 50-yard touchdown. Could it happen? Of course it could. He had a deep target last week that didn't connect. He'll probably get a deep shot every week. It's a matter of does it convert, and I don't know. That's a tough thing to bet on. So I guess I'd go Fitz. I mean, you could go like David Moore and hope for like a long bomb for the Seahawks. That's ugly though. Maybe put him in your flex and see if there's any like I don't know. Nothing good about that. But D-Hop's going to probably play anyway, so let's not even worry about that. Noah Pringle, Tunyon or Jay Cook. Actually, Jay Mike just texted me this question. Tunyon or Jay Cook as well. I like Tunyon, I think. Cook is intriguing with all those guys out, so he could light it up. This is tough. I'm personally going to go Tunyon. What do you think, CJ?
Yeah, actually, I have this in my big league, and I went with Tunyon.
He's just so juicy, like, 2 touchdown upside every single week. I know he kind of busted last week, but that Tampa Bay defense is tough. So, yeah, I like Tunyon over Cook, but it really is like 6 and 7 in my rankings. So tough calls there. Yeah, Tunyon, I got 6. I am bumping up Cook. I'm bumping up Fant here. Why do I have Hunter Henry so high? I'm looking at my tight ends here. Yeah, Cook's my tight end 7 and Tunyon's my tight end 6. So it's close. Jonu's right in there. Tight end's tough this week. But I love Noah Fant for anybody out there. That's my guy at tight end this week. Jared and Kirk. I don't know what that means.
Oh, remember that the first question of the day? It was like, actually, no, that was him.
Yeah, that was Stephen Drakes who asked that, but I don't know, like, who's Jared? Jared, like, there's Jared Goff, but, like, is there anybody else?
Oh, I think he's trying to respond to that first question.
Yeah.
Read and was like the Jared and Cook thing.
Yeah, who knows? Start Marky Gonzo. Let's see here. I think this is the Meat Man on Twitter is his name, which I love. The Meat Man. Start a Hunt, Aaron Jones. So Jones is not playing. Jalen Richard or Jeff Wilson. So hurt Aaron Jones. Okay, I got it now. So he's not playing. Is Gonzo he signed it the Meat Man, so it is definitely the Meat Man. Is AJ Dillon out there? Is of course Jamal Williams is the first pick, but I bet you AJ Dillon could be out there, and I would go him well above Jalen Richard or Jeff Wilson. If not, I guess I'm going to go Wilson and hope he falls into the end zone. But I would much, much, much rather stream AJ Dillon, who's only 14% owned coming into the day. Then you got Humphreys, Davis, or Perriman. I think I go the upside of Perriman. I like Humphreys is intriguing. I think he's got a nice floor, But this is the blow up week for Perriman, in my opinion. So I look for AJ Dillon first and go Jeff Wilson if he's gone, and then I go Perriman. Do you go Perriman over Humphreys and Davis?
Yeah, you talked me into that, and the upside's just way higher there. So yeah, I go Perriman on that.
Yeah, McKinnon or McKissick? The McKinnons. Probably McKissick. I mean, I don't know. I if I'm doing this, I'm probably going to go McKinnon and just remains the feature guy.
From your graces, huh?
What's that?
But McKinnon's really fallen from your guy to just now it's like McKissick.
I mean, Mosher went out and Jamichael Hasty, whatever the fuck that is, had 9 carries to McKinnon's 8, and McKinnon just didn't really do much when he was getting the ball. Jeff Wilson's now in. Like, I don't know. Yeah, McKinnon is certainly falling. I'm bumping it. If I'm going to play AJ Dillon over him, I got to change my rankings to reflect that. I don't like McKinnon much this week, but it's like a McKissick I don't love either. He is facing Dallas, which is a nice matchup. So I'm going to bump him up a little bit. You guys are giving me some things to consider in my rankings for sure. I'll have McKissick above White, but I'm going to go McKinnon there. I would hope for the feature role and see what happens. Give me McKinnon. Eric L. Smith, Pats will dare Jimmy G to beat them deep. I agree. Yeah, they're going to make him throw that deep ball. The nervous part of that is both Ayuk and Debo can streak the field for sure. We'll see. That game's going to be an interesting one today. I have a feeling Bill's just going to get in Jimmy's head. He's going to know exactly.
I like the Patriots a lot today.
You think the Pats are a lock today?
Yeah.
I think so too. That 49ers team, we got to get Grant Cohen on because he'll be happy to run circles around their graves. The ultimate hater. All right, TS, McKinnon, Jackson, Cooks for the flex. Not McKinnon. I'd rather have Jackson at running back, but Cooks versus Jackson's intriguing. I feel like you ride that hot hand and you go with Cooks. I mean, he's been scorching lately. Really benefited from those higher play action rates, higher deep shot rates that we're seeing from that Houston offense. Matthew Tacker, full point PPR, need 1. ODB, Tyler Boyd, Deontay. I go Boyd. It's not Odell, that's for sure. I go Boyd out of those 3. What do you think?
Yeah, I'll go Boyd there. Deontay's really close, but I'd probably go Boyd.
Yeah, if I had seen Deontay make it through a game recently, I'd probably have him higher, but I need to see him make it through a game. David Glass, welcome back. Flex, standard, pick 1, Gibson, Singletary, or Henderson. Comes down to I mean, Singletary's intriguing because it's the Jets, the matchup, but Zach Moss is back. I'm looking at Gibson or Henderson, and I'm probably going to go Hendy. Chicago's been getting run all over. He's off the injury report. He's kind of the guy there right now. Until otherwise, I think you go Henderson. I do really think Gibson could have a big coming out party this week, but Henderson's a good reason to wait and see it. Standard flex, AJ Brown or G Bernard. Give me AJ all day. I like Bernard, but I like AJ Brown for sure. Aaron Jones inactive. Yes, 909 orbits. Thank you. Good, sir. David N. Wysong. One sec, I just lost it. Here it is. Full PPR, pick 2, OBJ, Deontay, Ruggs, or Tunyon. Deontay and Tunyon? I mean, would you really bench Odell for Tunyon? I think so. I just don't trust Odell at all, but since he's not that scared, I think I go OBJ, Deontay here. I go for the receivers. What are your thoughts on that?
I hate putting a tight end in the flex for some reason.
I do too.
Yeah, I'd go the first 2.
CeeDee Lamb or Deontay, fight for first place. Good battle. I'm going to go Lamb there. Aaron Jones out. Yes, thank you guys for helping confirm that for us. Dillon or McKinnon for Hillary Margaret. I'm going to go Dillon there. I'm personally putting him in over McKinnon. It's scary as fuck, but I'm going to go Dillon. Going for the quads, baby. Mike Williams or Jamal Williams for flex. I love Jamal Williams. I think he's going to eat today. B. Cooks or Ruggs. B. Cooks. Definitely keep riding that hot hand, Eddie Sanchez. Danger close, hoping for 152 2-night from Lockett. It could happen. Certainly could. Well within the realm of possibility. Baltimore on bye, need defense. Dallas, Washington, Chicago, San Fran. I like Chicago. Goff tends to crap himself in prime time. Not always. I don't know. Washington, like
defenses are so tough this year.
It's impossible.
They all suck.
They all suck. Washington makes sense because their D-line should be able to destroy the Cowboys' own line, so sack central, but it's also Washington. Like Dalton could just put up points. I like Chicago just talent-wise, Khalil Mack back. I dropped Washington for Chicago if that makes any difference, but it's defense. Like you're just chucking it out there and hoping for something. Rojo or Diggs for the DK flex. I got to go Diggs there. PPR on DK, $7,000, no John Brown. Like I love Ronald Jones, but DK, Diggs could just go bananas today. So I go Diggs. What are your thoughts? Do you bench your boy Rojo for Diggs?
Yeah, definitely. Diggs is gonna have a million receptions too.
The thing too is like they're $700 apart, Jimmy. So like, what's that? The difference could be like Rojo if he gets you to some other crazy next level.
Diggs could be that next level. That's
right. Exactly. Half PPR, need one running back and flex. David Johnson, Gibson, Swift, Woods. Swift by far my favorite, Sarah Riley, out of these options. And then David Johnson is gross, but I put him in over these other guys. Gibson, again, I really like Gibson to have a big day today, but I need to see it before I keep recommending 7 points to everybody's lineup here. David Johnson should find the end zone, but he's so gross. I don't know. David Johnson, Gibson, Woods. To me, Swift's the only option I love here. And what about Woods in that conversation? I don't know. Who
I think I'd go Woods in the flex.
Woods and Swift.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Swift, David Johnson, but I don't love it. Going forward, would you rather have Colts defense or the kicker? I don't like stashing either, but Rodrigo's the goggles is like 12 points every week. Rodrigo's a beast, but I would cut either and stash like AJ Dillon or stash like Pollard if he's out there. Somebody that could give my team a huge boost. Maybe even Coleman. Get ahead. I wouldn't hang on to either of those. Tre'Davious White is in. Thank you, Jeremiah, for confirming. Williams over Gibson or J-Rob? No, I go J-Rob or Gibson over Williams. Gibson's close. What do you think of that one?
No. I think I'd probably go Williams over Gibson. I know that you're big on Gibson this week, but
it's close. Yeah, I'm going with Gibson, J-Rob there. Mike Clay. Tunyon equals healthy. He sure is. In the lineup today, David Winesong, and he's in my top 7 tight ends. Rodgers or Deshaun Watson. Whew. Sebastian Alex, a bevy of riches there. I think I'm going to go Rodgers. Big bounce back effort. Shitty Houston offense. No Aaron Jones. They're going to need him even more. But you're literally talking about my quarterback 3 and quarterback 4 right now. So well done. Good job. But I go Rodgers over Watson. What do you think, CJ?
I'm going Rodgers. I was even kind of debating Stafford over Watson for myself. I don't know. I'm going.
You can't do that. Watson's cooking right now.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, for this, I'm going Rodgers.
Yeah. Starting Williams, so she doesn't want for the AJ Dillon stream. So you already have Williams in. Still though, I mean, wasn't the other option like Jalen fucking Richard? So I'd rather just have both Packers, and that's how bad the Texans really are against the run. I think the play might be starting both, Stephanie. If your other options are Richard and Lindsey. I really would. I don't know. What do you think about that? Would you go both Packers? Like that's scary. But
I personally can't do that. That's just something like looking at my lineup with 2 players, like 2 running backs in the same team. I can't do it.
I'm going both Packers. That's my play for today. F Pats, I'm out. Go 49ers. Fuck you, David Wionsong. But thank you for tuning in. We appreciate it. As much as the Jets disgust me, I'm streaming Denzel Mims on my bench this week. Streaming him on your bench. I think you meant stashing probably, Eric.
Yeah.
To see how he does. I think that's totally fair because, again, these rookies have been just insane. So could he be the next in the long list? Absolutely. The Jets are disgusting. I don't know if I trust Gase to actually use him the right way, but I think him and Perriman both worth intriguing pickups if you're looking for a receiver to stash and Perriman to even stream. Rise and shine, Wolf. Who goes into my flex, half PPR, Dillon or Gio? I'm going to go Gio over Dillon. Williams over Gio. Gio over Dillon is kind of how I rank these streamers, Todd. What about you, CJ?
Yeah, you have to go with the guaranteed usage there. I'm going Gio.
Yeah. Out of Gio, Jamaal, J. Jackson, whom do you see having the best week? I'm on board with Jamaal. What are your thoughts, Mitch? I mean, CJ, for Mitch.
Yeah, Jamaal. Yeah, more talented of Gio.
more talented. And that, again, I can't emphasize enough how soft that Houston run defense is. It's a smash play. And they love him. They absolutely love Jamaal. McLaurin, AJ Brown, and Todd Gurley. Pick 2. I got to lock in McLaurin against Dallas. So then Brown versus Gurley, that's tricky, but I'm going to go Brown. Just so much upside. Gurley, it's a touchdown or bust. Detroit, he's going to score. I don't know. I definitely go McLaurin, and I think I go Brown. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm on. I guess that's tough, but yeah, I'm going with it.
It is tough. Am I crazy to want to start Chark over A-Rob? Don't like the Ramsey shadow at all. I have Robinson higher, but it's honestly I have Chark like 24 and Robinson 20. I am definitely down on A-Rob, but we've seen a couple receivers have like decent days against the Rams. But I'm with you. I'm scared of that. So trust your gut here. Chark's just not that locked in my opinion. So yeah, I go A-Rob still, but it is close. Tunyon or Jonnu, PPR. That's literally, again, Russell, my 6 and 7. I think I'm going to go Tunyon for the upside. But that's close. Do you agree with that? Because Jonnu's been so good. What do you think, CJ?
Yeah, but him coming off the injury, I don't know. I'm going with, I think Tunyon's touchdown upside is much higher. Not much higher, but higher. It's
certainly, yeah, I agree. Last minute pick, A.J. Dillon or Chase Edmonds with Aaron Jones out. I'm going to go A.J. Dillon over Edmonds. Edmonds he's had his big days, but he's clearly still behind Drake. It gets to the receiving work, but it's tough to trust. Full PPR flex, AJ Brown or Rojo. That's tough. I have Ronald Jones RB8 this week. I think I'm going to go Ronald, to be honest. But that's like a DraftKings decision too, because they're both the same price. So I've had to decide that for some lineups, and it's not easy. But I'm going Ronald Jones. That's tough, David.
Yeah, what are your thoughts, AJ Brown? I'm a hot hand right now, even though I am still talking myself into like Fournette getting something stupid and it's going to annoy me. But
you're going to go Ronald?
Yeah, I'm still going Jones.
Again, guys, if you're catching the later part of this, getting your questions in, thumbs up are so appreciated on YouTube, on Facebook, and on Periscope, regardless of your at, and shares are the way we get to get in front of new eyeballs, and it means the world to us. So please consider giving us a share in any groups you're in or on your feeds, and giving us the thumbs up would be greatly appreciated as we wind down here with your questions. Full PPR, RB, AJ Dillon or Chase Edmonds. I think we answered that one. Edmonds. We're gonna go Dillon with Jones out. Deontay over Lamb. I don't think so. What do you think, CJ?
Yeah, I'll go Lamb, I guess.
Yeah, I'm sticking with Lamb there. He still got it done on Monday. He still was okay. PPR leaning on Kupp and Higgins. Sitting Claypool. No, Blue Crew. Don't you sit Kupp. Don't you sit Claypool. Feel Deontay back will cut into Claypool targets. Your thoughts? Winner takes first. I'm going Claypool. I'm benching Kupp. The Bears secondary is real good, and Claypool's too hot to sit, even with Deontay back. CD or Claypool for Torrey Sadler Jr. I'm still going Claypool. I'm all in on Claypool. I don't buy. I buy Deontay Johnson as a player, but one, let's see him stay through a full game, and two, Claypool's the fucking monster there. Like, he's 6'4", he runs a 4.3, he has a 40-inch vert, and it's showing in every single facet of the game. Tomlin's riding him, and every time he gives him the ball, he performs. And that's the one thing with Tomlin. If you perform, he will feed you over and over and over again. And I think Claypool is just – I don't think there should be ever questions. Whenever we say that, it doesn't end up well for us, like Marquise Brown. But for me, I would very rarely consider benching Claypool. As good as CD has been, Claypool, better quarterback, I think is the alpha. He's emerged there as the number one, in my opinion. Omar F. Would you do CD or Claypool? I mean, it's two good rookies.
No, I don't think that's really debatable.
No Claypool as well?
Yeah, I'm locked in on Claypool.
Yeah. Bench one of these, Gio, Jamal, Kirk, and McKinnon. I would bench McKinnon over Kirk. Gio and Jamal locked in for me. The same first three with Singletary as fourth. I would go Singletary over McKinnon. I'm nervous about Singletary. McKinnon. I really am this week, Omar. Sit one. So yeah, I'm sitting McKinnon for both of those questions. And you get a nice welcome back from Omar. Injured neck last week. Pretty pathetic excuse, but we'll move along as CJ died in the shower.
30 going on 80.
Yeah, the oldest 30-year-old I've ever met. Standard scoring, starting Carson, picked up J. Will. Should I start him, Rojo, or David Johnson? I would go J. Will over David Johnson. Let me make sure my rankings reflect that because I don't want to say something and then not buy it. But I'm all in on David Johnson. On J. Will this week. Now, does it Rojo? I would not bench for J. Will. I have Rojo RB6 actually. Now that I'm looking at it, above Derrick Henry. Maybe I've gone a little insane, but I'm telling you, I think Pittsburgh locks down Henry and it becomes a Tannehill day. So I have Jamaal below Dave. I'm gonna bump David Johnson down. I have him a little higher than I should. I'm gonna go Williams over Jay Robinson. Williams or Josh Jacobs. What would you think of that one? That's a tough one. I feel like Williams is kind of a lock, right?
I know that the Raiders' offensive line, is everyone playing?
Yeah, 4 out of 5 at least.
Trent Brown.
Trent Brown, yeah. Did you ever look at it? Did I tell you about his picture?
The tattoo?
No. He has his picture. If you look him up on Roto World, it looks like an angry middle schooler. Like he literally.
Did you see Big Cat's tweet about his tattoo?
No, what happened?
He literally has a tattoo of himself. It's the funniest thing I've ever seen. He has a tattoo of himself with a football jersey on, and he's going like this. And he has 2 girls sucking him off. It's all down here. It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in my life.
That is fantastic. Oh my good Lord. What a psycho. That's disgusting.
I'm pretty sure they have his jerseys on too, 79 or something.
What a weirdo to get something like that tattooed on you. But yeah, just to make sure this question's answered, I like J. Will over David Johnson, but not over Ronald Jones. So yeah, this question here for King Existence. No, I go Ronald Jones for that. Ayuk, AJ Green, or Chenault, PPR. Damn, Crowder is out. Giuseppe, late to the show today, my dude. None. I don't know. Chenault, I guess. Ayuk maybe goes deep. This is all just which one gets a long score. I'm never going to recommend AJ Green. I think he's an asshole.
This be your Perriman spot?
Yeah, I would go Perriman over any of those 3, Giuseppe. Look for Brashard Perriman, but Chenault would be my next up. Let me make sure I have Perriman over Chenault again. I like doing this show because it makes me check my rankings and forces me out. Top 20 right now, so I gotta keep defending the crown here. A good clawback effort after getting bumped. I started top 10, got dumped down to 60, and then I've clawed my way back up top 30 last week and now top 20. So got to have another good week. Perriman the question is Perriman or Chenault. So I have Perriman higher. I'm going to Perriman or Edelman. That's where it gets intriguing. He's going to do nothing too. I'm going to keep recommending him. He's going to have 2 catches for 20 yards. But the upside's there. It really is there with Crowder out. I like it today. Tannehill or Minshew? I go Tannehill. Minshew at risk of getting benched, and Tannehill always. Tannehill's a beast. I deemed CJ the silent assassin. So David Campanile is your the guy who named you, apparently. That's your boy. Giuseppe, pick 3. Jacobs, David Johnson, James Robinson, Drake, or Gibson. I'm going to go Jacobs, Robinson, and David Johnson over Drake. So Drake and Gibson getting benched there for me. What do you think, CJ?
Yeah, I'm on that.
Gio Bernard or McKinnon? Gio for me. I'm scared of McKinnon. Jamal Williams, Deandre Swift, AJ Dillon. Pick 1. Swift or Jamal is very tough. I'm going to go. Swift or Jamal. They're also I don't know. I think I'm going to go Deandre Swift. That's tough. He's less guaranteed though. Williams.
Yeah, I was going to say I like Williams a little better there.
Williams is safer, but I think Swift kills it.
I don't trust the Lions.
Yeah, it's impossible to. They've always ride committees, which sucks. But yeah, I go Swift there. Jimmy McGinnis, full PPR flex, Odell, Tebow, Fant. I don't love 2 tight ends, but I really do like Fant today. So I think I go Noah. But if not, I would go Debo over Odell. What do you think of Jimmy's ugly flex question here?
Yeah, I hate going 2 tight ends too. Fant's not really a true tight end though. He is, but
He's so athletic, and the Chiefs are most susceptible against tight ends if you're passing against them. I think it's like 22nd. They're towards the bottom of the league. I think Fant has a solid sneaky day here today. I'm going to go Fant there. Debo would be my next up though. Flex spot for Tim Lee, Tim Patrick, Randall Cobb, or Henry Ruggs. Some tough options, but Tim Patrick's been sneaky good. Matter of does he keep it going now with Fant back in the lineup, with Hamler back in the lineup? Cobb gets the revenge game, Houston versus the Packers. I think I go Patrick there. What do you think?
That's pretty gross, but yeah, I'll probably go Patrick there.
I think I go Perriman over all of them, by the way. Just throwing out Traquan Smith first for all these weird receiver questions, Giuseppe and everybody else. And then the risk is with Perriman for sure, very risky, but the upside's very, very real too. Tell me Pat Bailey didn't get the best of me. Pat always gets the best of you, Nate. I dealt Tyreek Hill and Beasley for Jacobs and Lat Murray. I think it's a pretty fair deal. I mean, I prefer Hill to Jacobs in a vacuum, but it's close. And I'd rather have Lat Murray than Beasley. Beasley's been okay, but like you're never really using Beasley. Lat Murray has that upside. Like if anything ever happened to Kamara, you got yourself a top 5 for the rest of the year. And even I know your running backs, Nate, they were horrible. So I think Lat Murray in weeks like they're facing Carolina without any passing weapons, like you can have him in your lineup. I like the deal for you. I think Tyreek Hill could go berserk this week. I think this is going to be one of those weeks you're like, shit, why was it this week I traded him? But long term, I like the deal for you. I don't know, CJ, you want to bash Nate for this trade, or what do you think of it?
I mean, I'd have to see like what his running back and receiver positions are.
He has Hopkins at receiver. I know that. And I know his running backs. Taylor was his number one. He's on flex. I think his number one this week was like Samaje Perine.
Yeah. Then, yeah, I can't really argue with it though.
Fantasy question. Well, you've come to the right place. Matt Martin. I have to start 4. So you're benching 1. Lamb, Kupp, Higgins, Cole, Dillon. You got to bench one of these guys? I think I'm benching Cole. It's one of the last 2. Lamb, Kupp, and Higgins I like. So then it comes down to Cole or Dillon, and I've been all about the quads all day. Mr. Thunder Thighs, A.J. Dillon. I think I'm going to keep rolling it. Although Cole did have the second most receiving yards of the week last week. I just can never get behind him. Like, I don't know. Who do you bench from this group? I bench Cole personally, but.
Yeah, it's between Cole and Dillon, in my opinion. But yeah, I'll go Cole. I don't want to start a million receivers anyways.
Yeah. Hurst or Schultz. We've gotten that one a couple times. That's a tough one. I mean, Schultz has the matchup. Hurst has a little more consistency on the year. I don't like Schultz in this offense anymore. I wish I had a good tight end option instead of him. I'm nervous about him rest of the season. So I go Hurst. Chenault or MVS. That's tricky. Where do I have MVS pretty low in my rankings, and the more I talk about him, the more I like him.
I like MVS here.
Yeah, I kind of like MVS too. Was a dud last week, but I have him too low in my rankings. I can see him having himself a day, so I'm bumping him up just a little bit here. We got Incredible Culk. Good to see you, Culk. Last video I saw you was a little concerning. I hope you're okay, my man. Clearly alive, which is important. Tunyon, Humphreys at flex. Have Hawk at TE. I never liked the 2 tight ends, but again, I think Tunyon's a good play today. I think Humphreys is an intriguing play today too. As we said, the Steelers, the way they do it, it's, they're pretty decent against number 1s, not very good against number 2s, and then really bad against number 3s. And that's kind of what Humphreys will be. It's just, are we guaranteed Humphreys work? Good third down target, like full PPR. He'll catch some balls. I think I'm going to go Tunyon, though. What are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I'm going Tunyon. I still, as we've talked about it, I love his touchdown upside this week.
Yeah. Brady or Roethlisberger for TC Haley. I'm going to go Big Ben. I think Big Ben lights up that Titans defense. As I said, I think that game has the sneakiest shootout potential of them all. So give me Big Ben, all his weapons back. I mean, Brady could bomb the Raiders too, but I like Ben a little bit more this week. Who do you like of the statues?
Yeah, Ben's been really good. I'm sticking with Ben this week. I think he's at least 20 points or just about that every single week.
Yeah, last week he had a pretty big dud, but they just didn't need him to throw. I think the Titans will keep that game competitive in the ball into the air. Nicholas Young, Boyd Beckham, Allen Robinson, Mike Evans, DK, best three. DK lock, Evans in, and then not Beckham. He's my least favorite. I think I go A-Rob over Boyd, even though I don't love the matchup. You're getting 10 targets. So I'm going to go Robinson, Evans, DK, and bench Boyd and Beckham. Would you do anything differently, CJ?
And I'm bored with it.
Should I trade Lamb or Samuel? Depends. That's San Fran Samuel. If you got too many wideouts, Lance, as you say here, yeah, you should move one, but it's just a matter of what's the offer. But always, you always want to upgrade a position of depth for a position of need. Let's keep going. Peter Gardner, Alan Galladay, I'm guessing.
Okay.
Purposely he's taking a shot at him. I don't know why he would be, but or AJ Brown, pick 2. That's tough. That's a lot of good options. I think I bench AJ Brown. The worst matchup of the 3. They're all similar talents, all similar upside. So I'm going to follow the matchup and bench AJ Brown and go Keenan Allen, Kenny Galladay. What are your thoughts, CJ?
Yeah, I'm not. I mean, Keenan's such a target hog in that offense. And then, I'm going Galladay over AJ Brown.
And he did correct his, corrected it. Gio or Drake PPR? I'm going to go Drake for the upside and for Mama screaming at him. But we've had that one before. I tried sharing your video, but it got removed. Thank you for the effort, Jeremiah. He must have tried to drop it in like a fancy football group or something. And then it just got taken away. So we tried. I appreciate it. Start 2, Aaron Newbrough. DJ Moore, Robert Woods, Jamal Williams. I'm going to go Jamal, and I think I have DJ just a little bit higher than Woods this week. What are your thoughts, CJ? DJ?
Yeah, I always love putting in like a starting running back over a receiver. I'm going to go Jamal and Woods, I think.
Yeah, so I have Moore 22, Woods 23. I just looked at my rankings. So I have them neck and neck. Yeah. I go Jamal Williams over them both. And then I do have DJ Moore literally just a spot ahead. But Aaron, I mean, when it's that close, you got to kind of follow the gut. But yeah, my gut tells me DJ Moore. Jeff Marcus, Anderson, Fuller, Lamb, or Debo. Robbie Anderson, right? Like he's a monster.
Yep.
Bernard or Jamal Williams? I go Jamal. Of the 2 streamers this week, I got to go Jamal. Should I start D Swift on the flex or James White or Adam Humphries for Juan Pena? I like D Swift a significant amount more than those guys. As we said earlier, he's projected to get a bigger workload just in general. The coaches said they want to give more to him. And on 38% of the snaps last week, he put up 30 points or whatever the final used to be. And the Falcons' most receiving points to running backs right now. And that's his role. He's the best pass catching back on that team. I think he could go crazy. Beer choice of the week, Stout or Porter for David Campanile. I got to admit here, I'm more of an IPA guy, David. And so, like, what is even the difference between a Stout and the Porter? I know they're both dark beers. Do you know, CJ? Yeah, like why I'm asking you drink seltzers. Like, what's the difference, David? Explain it to me a little bit more. I do like them, but I typically go for the IPAs, the haze myself. Jamal Williams for Sam Rush or Antonio Gibson. I like Jamal today. The matchup too juicy, guaranteed touches against them. Marcos Valdez, half PPR, AJ Brown or Gibson. I like AJ Brown there. As much as I like Gibson, I go AJ Brown. Praveen Asai, half PPR, flex, Drake or Gurley or Ruggs. One last weekend based on your recs. Like to hear it. Let's keep it rolling. I'm going to go Gurley here. And if you only need one, I go Gurley over Drake, but that's risky because Drake came out. What do you think about Drake versus Gurley?
I think I like Gurley there. I mean, I still think Drake might have a good week, but I do like Gurley's touchdown. So.
Fellas, my comments even posting. Need your input, please. We just answered that one. We get a lot of questions, Nicholas. You got to be patient with us, my friend. But yeah, DK, Evans, and A-Rob were the 3 we picked. Sam Joshi. I have Drake, Jacobs, Robinson, Jamal Williams, Gibson, and Gio Bernard. Need 3. I like Jamal. I like Jacobs, and I like Robinson. Jacobs, I mean, Drake and Bernard all very close there too, but I feel like Williams is surprisingly my favorite here. And then Robinson with no Thompson could get a few more receptions. And Jacobs is just Jacobs. He's a beast. So I like them. Would you sneak Drake in for any of the 3 I picked, CJ, or Gibson or Bernard? I mean, I think we have Drake higher than the other 2, Gibson and Bernard. So does he beat any of those first 3 for you?
No, his floor is too low. I like the other 3 better.
Yeah. And just tossing it out there again, as we always do, winding down last 20 minutes. If you're willing to give this a thumbs up wherever you're at, if you haven't already, that'd be huge. And if you haven't subscribed and you're on YouTube, that's where we're almost at 1,000. We'd love for you guys to help us get there, regardless of where you're watching. If you're willing to give us that subscribe, hit that bell so you know when we're live and are dropping our content. We're going to get our clips back going this week. So we're going to drop a ton of stuff on YouTube. Make sure you can find us there so we can up our video game for you. I have Drake, Jacobs. We just answered that one. A-Rob only went 4 for 15 last year against Ramsey. That's intriguing. He's talking to our guy, Mike Clay, another 2 of our legends here on the show, Mitchell and Mike Clay. I'm not playing A-Rob because of that, but playing Cooper. I would play Cooper anyways, yes. But yeah, so there you go, Mike Clay. A little help from our buddies on the show, Mitch and Mike. CEH or Jamal Williams? I'm going to go Jamal Williams, which is kind of crazy, but the matchup's too ripe. He's going to get 15, 20 touches against them. I know you're a big Solaire guy, CJ. Is this where you draw the line?
Yeah, I think so. I'm sticking with my guy in that spot. I'm going with Clyde there.
I'm going Jamaal. I think he's going to light it up today. Anderson, Woods, B. Cooks, or Higgins? I go Anderson. If it's only one, I'm going to go Anderson. If I get a second in there, I'm going to go Higgins as my number 2 for Sarah Riley. Herbert or Watson today for Dodd, 22. I'm going to go Watson, but it's damn close. What do you think, CJ?
Yeah, I like her, but it's tough to bench Watson. I just have to do anything.
Yeah. Tried casting the show to my 65-inch TV as opposed to the phone. Your faces were definitely made for the small screen. Thanks, Nate. Much appreciated. Come on, look at this glowing. I actually got a message once, like, what's my skincare routine? Because my skin was looking so nice on a show.
I shaved my head today. So.
Yeah, come on. You know, these faces on HD 65 plasma? Come on, baby. That's what we're made for. Am I crazy for wanting? Looks like we got like 15. So we'll start rapid firing here to make sure we get through all of them for you guys. Am I crazy for wanting to start Boyd over Tannehill at Superflex? You are crazy. Always go quarterback at Superflex, especially when Tannehill is the fucking man. That was Charlie. Ethan, bench 1, CEH, Jamal, David Johnson, James Robinson. I think David Johnson has to be the bench there. You bench the ugliest talent. Solaire in that tough matchup, though. Jonnu Smith or Hunter Henry? I go Jonnu, I think. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm going Jonnu.
You said Gibson and J-Rob over Jamal, but have Williams ranked 4 higher. I have Jamal higher than both now. This might have been before news was confirmed. I have Jamal at running back 11, so he's pretty much over everybody at this point. I think he's going to go crazy. I'm not going to put him over Jacobs, but I am going to put him over James R. And CEH. All right, where were we? Here we go. Pick 2, DJ Moore, R. Anderson, Claypool, Chark. I'm going to go Anderson and Claypool for my picks here, Eric. Your top 20 positions for week 7 aren't up on Facebook any longer. Was around the middle of the week, but I haven't seen them since then. You can always go Mitchell to rotostreetjournal.com. We're breeding feed. Oh, yeah, because we took them down for Justin Herbert. Fucking missing the names there. So, yeah, we took them down because we had Justin Herbert.
Little typo.
Yeah, exactly. Mistake on there. But, yeah, they're up on rotostreetjournal.com. I will get my latest ones posted in just a second while we get to these questions. Wolfie, Henderson, Gibson, or Fuller in the flex. I'm going to go Fuller. Fuller's been too good to bench India. Unless he draws Jair today, that could be a risk. If you needed a second option, I would go Henderson, but that's how I rank those guys. I'm going to publish my rankings real quick just to make sure the most updated ones are on the site, and make sure I just don't have any other last-minute injuries. Boom. So Jamal Williams is up in the rankings. We'll be right back with you guys. Thank you for your patience. We promise we want to get to all your questions. I just got to make sure the most up-to-date rankings are available for all you guys. Sam Ficken is out at kicker. Oh, no. I better not rank Sam Ficken.
Take him out of your rankings just in case.
Yeah, I got to. Yeah, exactly. That's like the reason I won't be like top 10 is because I had Sam Ficken fucking stay in my rankings. Let me X out of him real quick. We don't need to consider any of these guys anyways. All righty. Now I can publish it. So I'm going to pull up another question. I'll just keep clicking. Can you read them to me, CJ, while I publish these?
Pick 2. Oh, we just did that. Scroll down, hit down twice or times. There we go. Here's something gross from Kyle Thunberg. McKinnon or Latavius Murray?
I think I go McKinnon, but man, Murray could really plow in for 2. Like, I just don't feel great about McKinnon this week. I really don't. He scares the shit out of me. And if
I like Murray. I like Murray's touchdowns.
I really do like Latavius's touchdown upside for sure. So yeah, I'm gonna go Lat Murray there. I think I probably have McKinnon like a spot higher in my rankings, but I really do like Lat Murray to score a TD, at least 1, potentially 2. And at 4,800 on DraftKings, he's also another intriguing pivot with everybody going to Jamal or Gio. Murray, you could fade Kamara, which would probably not be recommended, but if you wanted to be contrarian, fade him with Murray. What if he has just as good of a day? All righty, so that's my update ranking.
Guac fam is asking Jamal Williams or CEH, which we just kind of answered for someone else.
I have CEH higher, Jamal higher, and I know you like CEH more, but I go CEH. Jamal.
Omar F, KCD or Bears D. By the way, do you have any concerns about the weather? It's supposed to be a snowstorm. Thinking of playing Lindsey over James White.
I go KCD. Again, the weather could make from 3 more turnovers already a pretty good matchup against Denver.
I'm not really afraid. Weather doesn't really scare me unless it's wind. Like precipitation doesn't matter.
Yeah, exactly. And then Lindsey over Jay White. I go AJ Dillon over either. Omar, if he's out there, go for the quads. But if not, I think I'd roll a James White. PPR, I know you play, so I would go that. Do I start Juju over Edelman? Yeah, they both suck. But yeah, I guess. Cooper Kupp or T. Higgins or AJ Green. I love T. Higgins personally. I'm rolling there. Sleepy refresh, Antonio Gibson or CEH. I go CEH there. Gibson has to come out before I trust him over a guy like CEH. Debo or Kirk. Ooh, that's intriguing. I go Debo, but it is close. What do you think?
I kind of like Kirk.
The deep shot should be there tonight. But I go Debo. Montgomery for Pat Sullivan or Swift. I love Swift, and I hate Montgomery, as everybody knows. So, yeah, give me Swift all day. Proddy JML. Start 2, Woods, and this is half PPR, Justin Jackson or Chark. I'm going to go to the receivers there and bench Justin Jackson. What do you think? I know you like Jackson, so this is a good gauge for, is it Woods and Chark?
No, I think I'd go the 2 receivers for him.
6-point QB for Burley here. Risk Minshew getting benched or play Kyle Allen? I'd probably risk the Minshew. I don't think they'll bench him this week, but it might be next week. Kyle Allen, though, does intrigue me. He was my Hail Mary QB of the week on our podcast, so I could see him. He threw 280 and 2 last week. He ran him for 1 the week before. We could get a combination, a rushing and 2 touchdowns passing. I kind of like Kyle Allen. Roll the dice, Isabella. Let's go, or Isabel. Go Kyle Allen. Munich, pick 3, standard. Robinson, Bernard, Higgins, Robbie, Fournette. I'm going to go Higgins, Robbie, and A-Rob, I guess. Bernard, though, is intriguing. Robbie's my favorite play. Then I like I don't know. I don't like Robinson today. I'd rather go Bernard and T. Higgins over Robinson, I think. Is that crazy, CJ?
I just love. I mean, it is a tough matchup. But I love his use. Like, he gets peppered. So I mean, I don't think it really matters getting shot or not. I'd go him.
Yeah, A-Rob does see so much work. I mean, that's tough. Go 3 receivers: T. Higgins, Robbie, Allen Robinson. Gio is such a high floor, though. I personally bench Robinson for him. Should I have Gio and Lamar? Do you consider benching either for Claypool? I would bench Gio for Claypool in a heartbeat. Shady ass people. Munich and also Big Ben or Cam. I go Big Ben today. Shady ass people. Full PPR. Claypool over Gio.
Actually, I think it's Austin first there. He's commented right below it saying it's Austin.
Oh, nice. Facebook took my other account, number 1 fat guy. Good to see you, Austin. Been a while, Austin First. He comes in on YouTube sometimes. Fat guy Sly. I love it. Josh Jacobs or Mike Davis? Give me Mike Davis. Last swan song here. Thanks as always. Woods or T. Higgins, PPR. I go Higgins. I'm all about Higgins this week. I appreciate I'll share right now if you give me an on-air howl. CJ, you gonna give him a howl?
I'm not the wolf.
Oh, Nate. There you go. I better see that shared now.
You need to start wearing that. You need to wear that little wolf hat that you wore for Halloween.
I think that got burned after I spent the night in jail with that one on. That thing has been retired for good. I subbed and liked. Thank you. Well, thank you. Anybody that will sub and like is much appreciated right now. What's up, fellas? Lost Aaron Jones, AJ Dillon, Teddy B, or Minshew. So AJ Dillon's the running back too. Let's light it up. Let's hope he goes crazy, Dillon. Teddy B or Minshew. I'm going to go Teddy B, no doubt. Do I start Juju or Edelman? We answered Juju, but it's gross. I'd probably go Perriman over either. I know you hate him, but Montgomery or Bernard? Bernard for sure. You know better, Craig Sarno. And where the fuck you been? Late to the show today. Need 3. Half PPR. Don't know the options, but thank you. Also have Gio. Cool. Debo or A-Rob? I go A-Rob there for sure. Sebastian, pick 2. Half PPR. Boyd, Chark, or Lamb? I'm going to go Boyd and Lamb. Bench Chark. But Chark, 14 targets. That's tough. I don't know. This is a hard one, CJ. What do you think of Boyd, Chark, or Lamb? Maybe I bench Lamb with the QB play.
Yeah, I was just going to say I'm benching Lamb.
Yeah. Corello Gaming, Swift or Gio Bernard? Swift for sure for me. I love Swift this week. Drake or Woods? I'm going to go Drake over Robbie Woods, but that's tough. You're a big Bobby Woods fan. Do you bench Drake for him, or do you?
I usually prefer the running backs, but I'm going Woods there.
And last couple. Had to run to New Hampshire for butts.
Hey,
are we talking cigs? Are we talking strip clubs? What are we talking here, Craig? Why do you have to go to New Hampshire to get
Because it's no tax. So people get
All right, worth driving all the way to New Hampshire to avoid that tax. Gibson, DJ Moore, or Gio? I'm gonna go DJ Gibson. Gibson coming out party. DJ Moore's the highest floor though. AJ Dillon or Hasty? Dillon for me. We haven't really talked about Hasty. He had 9 carries over McKinnon last week. Could be intriguing, but now Wilson's in. Like, it's just a discombobulated mess, in my opinion.
One of those like tough guy, like analytics nerds love him. So
yeah. Drake or Antonio Gibson? I go Drake this week. Methanol ban in Mass. Oh,
no. They say there's a menthol ban in Massachusetts.
Is there? Robbie, Godwin, or Justin Jackson? Robbie A. Always. But Godwin, man, that's close. It goes. Would you go Robbie or Godwin? That's tough.
I'm going Godwin.
Yeah, I have Godwin 13, Anderson 14. I just looked. So Godwin, I have higher. Let's rip him. Homie Krill, like and sub, please. Godwin, Odell, AJ Brown. I go AJ Brown. That's my guy. Odell's my least favorite. So AJ, then Godwin, then Odell. AJ Brown or Claypool. I go AJ Brown, but man, I love me some Claypool. Justin Jackson or Gio. I go Gio Bernard there. Alrighty, folks, we got to check our last minute lineup decisions. So we got 5 minutes here, 4 minutes now till kickoff. You guys are the best. Thanks so much for all the interactions again. Any likes and subs and comments, also appreciated. Of course, on YouTube, we really need those subscriptions to try to hit 1,000. So we'd be greatly appreciated if you could hit us there. And of course, the podcast, Fantasy Fullback Dive, We Pave Your Path to 2020 Titles, is on all the iTunes platforms where you listen. We'll be back live tonight. Would love to see you right after Red Zone. Keep the fantasy times going. Our post-game tailgate, studs, duds, our prop bets for the night, any last-minute questions you might have for your week, your celebrations, your hates, all that good stuff. Come on down to the post-game tailgate tonight, right after Red Zone. Thanks again, guys. Best of luck in your matchups. Let's celebrate some W's, as Omar says. Let's eat the wins today, baby. Here we go. See you guys.